What's going on, guys? Waldorf Gamer here, bringing you another video from Jamaican Sushi. This time I've got my main man Lewis with me. Say hi, Lewis.
What's up, guys? My gamer tag is the Pharaoh3.
He's part of this channel, and you'll see some videos from him soon. But today we are gonna put aside, our other entertainment videos to talk a little bit about the, competitive meta and just what competitive is like on console. Now, many people have videos about this kind of thing on PC, and they're all talking about PC, but on console, it's very different. You have a different player base. You have,
for sure.
you have so much, that's different about the console. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Any other introduction thoughts, Lewis?
Yeah. Well, no. Let's just get right into it.
Okay, so I feel like one of the main things that's different is obviously communication, because on PC you have the chat that you can type, and you can most people go into team chat. It's like,
they type to get you into team chat.
Exactly. It's it's a rarity to see someone that's not in team chat. So when you say solo queue on PC, it still means you're communicating, you're just not with people you know. But on console, solo queue means you're just on your own playing it.
It's
just like
literally
that.
solo queue.
Yeah, it just you're on your own. And I'm talking around, like, not really bronze, but like ranks a bit higher than that. So you're just completely on your own, and you just have to do it like that. Now, there is a team chat for console, but, like, nobody knows about it. If you don't know about it, you hit the menu button, you go to social, you go to groups, and you join team chat from there. But either a lot of people don't have mic, or they just don't know about that.
It's pretty hard to get to, too.
Yeah, and they don't make it obvious. Like, I didn't even know there was team chat for, like, till I was, like, level 70 or something, which is pretty outrageous. But, what else is different? Player base.
Also, the player base, but the aiming is different, too.
Oh, of course, mechanics,
You don't see... so aiming is a lot easier on PC. And you don't see many McCrees or many soldier, many, like, the high skill aim mechanics on console.
Widow,
play.
Like, you can't have, you don't have really, like he said, McCree or Widowmaker, and that changes things a lot, because Pharah is so much more dominant in console, because having a soldier or a McCree, because it's not harder to maneuver Pharah on console than it is PC, but it's a lot harder to aim at Pharah. Therefore, Pharah is so meta on console, where she's not really picked at all on PC. And so heroes like that are, there are a lot of heroes like that are just a lot more meta. And, like, for instance, you rarely see, on PC, you can kind of have, like, a couple people that carry a game, because let's say you just have this Genji, right? And this Genji can get consistent headshots, and then just swift strike and deflect and melee and just murder people, go around killing everyone. That guy can climb. That's what we're going to be talking about today, is climbing. That guy can climb in solo queue, because he can just instant pick, lock in Genji, get a pick, they'll win the team fight, and he'll climb that way. They'll win games, But in console, you can't do that. It's a team-based game, and we have less communication, so it's kind of a lose-lose.
It's a little harder, but... yeah, just like he was saying.
So,
and you see the player base in console too. The heroes they choose they're a lot easier to play. You'll see a lot of Zaryas, because her beam is just so easy. It doesn't take a high aiming skill cap. And you'll see not as many divas as the PC play, but you'll still see her a lot. And just heroes like that.
Another thing about the player base is also people are more casual about console, and that's fine. But the thing is, like, when you bring that to competitive with people, when you kind of combine that, people who want to win and want to climb with people who are just, like, casual about it, it kind of brings you down, because people who are just casual about it, they won't put full effort into it, or they'll just pick offensive Torbjorn on a payload and slap their turret down and sit on the payload. And that's fine in quick play, but you shouldn't really bring that to competitive. And I understand, like, if you feel like you want to, you feel like you want it to make a bit of a difference, like, if you win or lose a quick play, no one cares, and you want to care if you win or lose, but still make it casual. So I feel like maybe Blizzard needs to introduce something new to Overwatch that still is kind of like ranked, like maybe arcade ranked, like a 1v1 ranked, or a 3v3 ranked, maybe a bit more chill, but it still, matters whether you win or lose, to make those differences in the player base.
Yeah.
Now, I think one of the hardest things to do, obviously, in solo queue is climb. Now, climbing in solo queue is virtually impossible. You can take my example, for instance. I climbed to, like, 2,580, which isn't the best, but, like, it was better than where I was. And then I fell back to, like, 2,200 in solo queue. And sure, obviously, you might say, oh, it's just, I guess the only common factor in those games was me. And that's true. But how many other people do you think were on a dropping streak in that game? There were probably other people who think I was the only common factor. But when there's that many common factors in a game, it becomes different. And so, you have a bunch of people that are just continuously dropping. And obviously, some people have to be winning for other people to have to be dropping. But I feel like there's this general problem of if you play solo queue, you drop, even if you're a good player. I'll play solo queue matches and lose, and you might just say, oh, well, then just stop playing. Then I play with a couple of friends, and I start winning, And you might say, oh, your friends carry you. And yeah, that's true, they could carry me, but, I also feel like there's a difference, when you just have that slight communication with somebody you know.
As well as if you think about solo queue, there's 12 people per game, and you're the one person that's, I guess, consistent throughout all of your games, because you're going into all of those games. But then there's 11 more variables that you have no control over, and multiply that by like 5 games, that's 55 people that you have no control over. So it just gets a little sketchy.
Yeah, and as you can see here in the background, we're actually playing a six stack, and you might have noticed that a lot of players have left this match. That's because if you go back and watch the offensive play, we kind of dominated it on offense, and a lot of people just left. Now, you see that a lot on console. I feel like that's due to more of the casual feel, so people don't really care if they lose or get banned. So if they're losing by a lot and they're frustrated, they'll just leave. I feel like you don't see that as much on PC. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I feel like it just happens so much on console that, you'll be dominating and people just leave. And that's not fair to the other team, or if it happens to your team. If you get dominated when you're defending and your team just leaves, doesn't even give you a chance. I feel like that's because people don't care about whether, they win or lose or get banned or etc.
Yeah, I don't have a clip of it, but there was one game where it was comp, and we got destroyed really hard, and like everybody just left, and it was me. It was just I switched to Torbjorn and just camped in my spawn with my turret, and I couldn't do crap.
Yeah, so. And another thing is right before this game we had this epic crazy game that we didn't record, where we both pushed the payload all the way. And we had a minute left on the clock because we pushed it in overtime. So we went back into our third round, and then we pushed it almost all the way, keeping overtime the whole time. We had so many key reses. I had like 44 eliminations in that round as Genji alone. And like we had this crazy epic, team, round that round. And we just, dominated them. And they couldn't even push it, to the first checkpoint. And that's a good example of like one team that was so evenly matched in the first round, but then we just, like, something changed and took over in the second round, and it was our team coordination, which is, obviously, you hear people saying that that's really important in Overwatch, and it is. It's really important to have that team coordination and to, have a team that is, like, you could have a 6-stack and have them not listen to you and see, oh, we need a healer, and they'll say, oh, I'm sticking to my DPS. But it's important to have a 6-stack that, like, in this team, if we said, oh, someone go Lucio, somebody would go Lucio. Obviously I'm Widowmaker here because we were going to win this game, but, that's another thing that I feel like a lot of people on console, even if they're the 6-stack, they just still don't even, care about anything, team comp or, like, what they're doing or team play.
And the player base is a lot younger, so, like, on PC, there's probably, like, older people. I'm not saying you're like really old, but I'm saying there's a younger player base on console, because console kind of came out a lot later than the PC, and it's less prevalent.
It's easier too.
Yeah,
and less expensive, of course. And so, like I said, the console is more directed towards the casual player. That's what it boils down to. It's like we have these big problems, but I think it kind of boils down to the casual player. And console, it's cheap, it's accessible to everybody. Well, not everybody, but it's accessible to a lot more people than a decent gaming PC is. And, it's just really easy to, acquire and play on. It's casual, and that's the problem. Is people are too casual in competitive and stuff like that. And there's one more problem I want to touch on before we let you guys go, and that is the whole thing about over complexifying it. People at like gold and platinum think that all the pro things apply to them. They'll watch pro matches. I watch pro matches. I watch, like your Overwatch and stuff, and I listen to a lot of what they say, but I don't take it in so much that it completely defines my gameplay. Because there's still, that's pro on PC. This is platinum on console. It's way different, and people don't understand that. In platinum, everyone thinks they know everything, and they're like, oh, well, I watch pros, so I'm automatically a pro. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You still have to apply, you still have to be situational, do things based on what your scenario is.
Yeah, and there's a huge mechanical skill gap between the casual player and the pro player, and if the casual player watches these pro matches, they see them do these tactics that really only work if you have that high mechanical skill cap, such as like maybe a nano high noon or something. And that's with communication too. You have to have a high mechanical
Good
skill
positioning,
first get in the spot you need, and then the Ana has to have a good mechanical skill and clear vision to hit you with the nano.
It's hard to execute.
Yeah.
I feel like something that's harder is like nano sword still works really well, but people think, okay, so you see Nano Sword a lot more than Nano Reaper now in the meta. Maybe, probably because Nano got nerfed and it doesn't speed up anymore. But on console, people apply that to console. People say, oh, Nano Sword is so much better than Nano Reaper, but Nano Reaper is actually better on console. The reason is the skill gap. Sword, you actually have to execute it. Once you get nanoed, you have to go in there with your sword and use your combination of your sword, your Swift Strike, and your melee and stuff to get those kills. And it requires a decent amount of skill. But in Reaper, you get nanoed, you jump into a group of people, and you press Y. It is not that hard, or, the whatever shape that is on PlayStation. It is not that hard, and it's way easier to execute on console, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. People try and take stuff like Nano Sword, which still works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but they try and apply it the same as PC onto console.
Yeah, and there's so many heroes that are quote unquote meta in the PC meta, I guess. But when you apply those heroes to console, it kind of shifts it up a bit. And there's a couple heroes such as I guess Reaper, like Eli was saying. He's relatively meta in PC, in console actually, not PC. Sorry. And he can do well in console because
he can do well on PC too, but people just don't realize that.
Yeah, it's just there's heroes like that and heroes that just aren't that are prevalent in PC, but really not that prevalent in console. Like I said before, like Diva and stuff like that. It's just it's a different character base.
Okay, guys, I think that'll be it for this video. Thanks for sticking around and having this. I hope you guys took something away from this and maybe can apply it to some of your gameplay. Share this with your friends. Let's hope we can spread this around the community so we can get more people to, try and hear what we're saying. And maybe we can change something. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But, this is Waldorf Gamer and the Pharaoh from Jamaican Sushi. It's Eli and Lewis. Yep. And we're signing out.
And keep on for that giveaway.